One private conversation. One request that reportedly went nowhere. And suddenly, whispers of tension inside the palace began echoing louder than ever. What really happened behind those historic walls? Why did a request that seemed so personal allegedly trigger a chain reaction of headlines, speculation, and questions about unity at the very top of the monarchy? If even a fraction of these reports are accurate, this wasn't just another royal disagreement. It was the kind of moment that had everyone wondering whether something much deeper was quietly unfolding behind closed doors. According to the transcript, everything reportedly began with what appeared to be a calm, carefully planned conversation. Camilla is described as approaching the discussion with confidence, presenting what she believed was a reasonable proposal. The request reportedly centered on giving her son, Tom Parker Bowles, an honorary royal title. Not to change his official position, but as recognition for what she described as years of quiet loyalty and contribution. It was presented as a symbol of appreciation rather than privilege. On paper, the idea sounded measured. But inside royal circles, even the smallest symbolic decision can carry enormous consequences. The transcript describes Charles listening in silence, weighing every word before responding. And that silence? That's where speculation exploded. Was he considering the proposal? Was he already preparing to refuse it? Palace observers have long said that in royal life, silence often becomes more revealing than speeches. When the answer reportedly came, it wasn't emotional. It was firm. Tradition, precedent, and the institution itself allegedly came before personal wishes. If that's truly how events unfolded, then this wasn't simply about one honorary title, it became a test of where family ends and monarchy begins. That decision reportedly landed harder than anyone expected. The transcript portrays Camilla remaining composed on the outside, but suggests the rejection cut deeply. Instead of an explosive confrontation, it describes something far quieter, and perhaps far more intriguing. There were no dramatic scenes, no public arguments, no official statements. Just an apparent shift in atmosphere. And sometimes, in royal history, the quietest moments end up creating the loudest headlines. The story then takes an even more dramatic turn. Rather than reacting publicly, the transcript claims Camilla allegedly began leaning on relationships she had built over many years. It suggests discreet conversations and carefully chosen words may have started circulating beyond palace walls. No direct accusations. No obvious fingerprints. Just subtle narratives reportedly appearing in the press that invited readers to ask uncomfortable questions. Coincidence? Strategy? Or simply the media doing what it always does when royal stories emerge? That's exactly where speculation begins to blur with reality. Soon, according to the transcript, reports began focusing on Charles's public reliance on Princess and Prince William. Headlines allegedly hinted that they were becoming the king's closest public allies while Camilla and her family appeared increasingly absent from the spotlight. Whether those headlines reflected genuine palace dynamics or simply media interpretation remains impossible to confirm from the transcript alone. But perception has always mattered inside the monarchy. Once an idea takes hold publicly, it often becomes its own story. The transcript suggests Charles quickly recognized what was happening. Sitting in Buckingham Palace, reportedly surrounded by newspapers questioning his decisions, he allegedly saw something more dangerous than criticism. He supposedly saw doubt. Doubt about fairness. Doubt about family unity. Doubt about whether personal relationships were beginning to shape public duty. Those questions, whether justified or not, can become powerful once they enter public conversation. Inside the palace, the atmosphere reportedly grew colder. Staff whispers. Quiet loyalties. Different interpretations of the same events. The transcript paints a picture of a household where every decision risked being viewed through the lens of favoritism. Was every appearance intentional? Was every absence meaningful? Or were ordinary scheduling decisions being transformed into something much larger? That's often how royal speculation grows, not from confirmed facts, but from unanswered questions. Eventually, the transcript describes another private meeting between Charles and Camilla. Charles reportedly confronted her about the stories circulating in the media, warning that continued speculation could damage the institution itself. Camilla, according to the transcript, denied backing away from her position and reportedly insisted that recognition for Tom was simply a matter of fairness. Neither appeared willing to compromise. If the transcript accurately reflects the exchange, both believed they were protecting something important, but for completely different reasons. From there, the situation reportedly intensified. Stories continued appearing across newspapers and television discussions, with commentators debating whether the monarchy itself was showing signs of internal division. Public opinion, the transcript suggests, became increasingly split. Some reportedly sympathized with Camilla's position. Others defended Charles for protecting long-standing royal conventions. The conversation was no longer about one honorary title. It had reportedly become a debate about tradition, loyalty, image, and the future direction of the crown itself. And just when it seemed the pressure couldn't rise any further, the transcript claims Charles reached a private conclusion. If persuasion wasn't working, another approach might be necessary. Whatever he was preparing next, it reportedly wouldn't stay behind palace doors for long. Because according to the transcript, the next move would shift this entire story into even more controversial territory. As this story draws to a close, one question still refuses to disappear. Was this simply another difficult family disagreement behind palace walls, or did it reveal just how delicate the balance between personal loyalty and royal duty can become? The transcript leaves many moments open to interpretation, and that uncertainty is exactly what keeps the conversation alive. Every reported meeting, every carefully chosen word, and every headline seemed to add another layer to a story that remains surrounded by speculation rather than official confirmation. In the world of royalty, silence often fuels more discussion than any public statement ever could, and when the palace says little, the public inevitably starts connecting the dots for themselves. Whether these reported events reflect private reality or growing media narratives, they have certainly sparked intense debate about trust, influence, and the pressures faced by those closest to the crown. For now, the full picture remains incomplete, and only the people behind those palace doors know exactly what was said and what truly happened. Until more verified information emerges, this story remains one of the most talked about royal controversies, reminding us that in the monarchy, today's whispers can quickly become tomorrow's headlines. And perhaps the biggest twist is this: the final chapter may not have been written yet.